Hey family, I hope you're doing great. Have you ever had a situation in your life where you just couldn't figure out how God was going to use it? You know Romans 8:28, that all things work to the good of those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. You know that all things work for good, but you want to know how all things are going to work for good. One of the situations in Charity and I's life like that was our kids' adoption. When we began this journey, we began to adopt a 2-year-old Isaiah and a 9-month-old Annecy. They weren't 11, they were 11 and 9 years old when they came home. And all those years, we thought, what is going on? Lord, what are you doing? Wouldn't it be better if they were home? Wouldn't it be better if our family was all together? I'm sure in your life too, there's been lots of times where the questions have outnumbered the answers, but we're not alone. I think of David. David spent years and years running for his life, hiding out in caves, being hunted by King Saul. But all of those years, he knew that God had called him to be king. I wonder how many times David, while hiding in the cave, thought, this is taking too long. What's the purpose in this? Is this really what God had in mind? All of those thoughts, I'm sure, went through David's mind as well. And all that time that David spent on the run, and perhaps wondering what God was doing in that time, was time that God was preparing him to be king. He was using all those moments in the uncertainty of David's own life to take him and transition him and transform him from being a leader of sheep into a leader of a nation. All those painful years that we waited for our adoption to become complete, the Lord was teaching us. We had a lot of lessons to learn. We always told our kids, you probably could have come home much sooner if we weren't such slow learners. The Father may be using your current situation to prepare you for a future that He already has written for you. Now, I want you to listen to this from Psalm 27. This is David reflecting back on this season of uncertainty that he had in his own life. He said this, I would have lost heart unless I had believed that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. He reflects back and said, I would have lost heart. That would have happened if I wasn't believing and if I wasn't trusting in the Lord. And then he encourages you and I in verse 14. He says, wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Guys, trust in the Lord's leading, and he'll take you where you need to go. I'd love for it if you passed on this encouragement that David has given us from Psalm 27. And if you need prayer, if you want someone to pray for you, you have something going on in your life, you want to know more about Jesus, please don't hesitate to call and contact the church at calvaryellensburg.com.